Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Scottie Show. Today, I have a very special guest. You might catch her with a sledgehammer in her car,
My
doing 90
God.
miles an hour on some wild shit. Man, without further ado, Moth Girl, how's it going?
Yo, what the fuck is up? How's it going?
It's going good.
I got the
Uh,
sledgehammer right here, actually.
oh
That's
shit,
crazy.
that's lit. All right. So for the people that don't know who Moth Girl is, who is Moth Girl?
Um, I'm just a multi-genre singer-songwriter vocalist, really.
Yeah. One of the things that I noticed is that you do that because you'll do some screamo type music, and then I was listening to some other stuff and it was some disco type shit,
hmm
and then I was listening to something else and I was like, this kind of sounds like Wicca Face, like a little like Wicca Face style, what makes you want to make these different types of genres and sounds when you're making music?
Um, well, a big part of music for me is it's like a form of like creative expression, And on top
Yeah.
of that, it's also like an outlet for like my emotions, like it just
Hmm.
like a healthy outlet kind of thing. And I would hate to pick one sound and box myself into that. Like I'd hate to like label myself as like one specific sound and then only work in that genre. Like that just
Yeah.
sounds so boring. Like whenever, like if I hear something and I'm like, I like that general like sound, like the general genre of this song, like I want to try something like that.
Hmm.
Um, and that's like my biggest thing with music, really.
Okay.
Like back in December, like I released like a full jazz album. Like I'm working
Oh
on
shit,
like
that's lit.
yeah, that one was fully produced by Apartment 9.
Okay,
So shout
okay.
out Charlie. But did that. I'm working on like a metal album right now with some like sludge and grindcore shit.
Okay,
Just
okay.
all over the place.
Hell yeah. So, what made you get into making music, and then how did you know that you could do that? I can do this. I can gather, a community of people that will support my music because you are cultivating that right now.
Mhm.
What gave you the confidence to do all these things that you're doing right now?
Um, I think a lot of it all started in high school, really. I think a lot of it was in part to like bullying in high school.
Yeah.
Getting into music itself, I always wanted to be a writer growing up, like writing stories because I love like creating those characters and then like driving those plot points in, like world building especially.
Yeah, yeah.
So I always wanted to do that in high school. I listened to like a lot of Pink Floyd's because they had like a lot of like concept albums and I was just so
Hmm.
fascinated. I was like, whoa, like they have this album that they're using to like tell a story.
Yeah, yeah.
um so I thought that was really cool. A friend and I at the time, we were both 15, we made a band, made like a really shitty concept album on GarageBand and then like
Yeah.
never did anything together again. um but in terms of what gives me the confidence and drive, that's something that I've struggled with a lot up until very recent months. In high school, I was always kind of the person that people were like, oh yeah, like you can be friends with us. But then I was the one that was like always like the brunt of the jokes, like just like the punching bag, really never really,
Yeah.
accepted. So
Yeah.
in this scene, like what I'm trying to do, like in this corner of like the internet, this bubble that we found ourselves in, I just want to be very like open and accepting and just be like, look, like everybody can make music. Like if you want to do it, you can do it. It doesn't matter what the sound is. Like the only thing are like physical limitations, really. Like
Hmm.
a recording setup basically. But like if you have a recording setup, like you can literally do anything you want. Like
Yeah.
there's so many different ways you can like adjust your vocals. There's so many different like producers that do like an infinite amount of things.
Hmm.
Um like the only real limitations to doing music are yourself. It's just
Yeah.
mental barriers that you just got to knock down.
Yeah, that's true. So, how did you come into contact with all the other people that you work with, like Apartment, Nine
Mhm.
Charlie, and yeah, okay. How did that all come about? And how did that circle that you guys have right now? How did that all cultivate?
Mhm. So Charlie and I met early 2021, right after I had gotten onto Twitter, because growing up I wasn't on the internet a lot.
Mm.
um I graduated in 2020 during COVID, and then like that fall, like the fall of my freshman year of college, I just got on Twitter, randomly found the scene, wasn't even making music at the time, but I was like, oh, like all these people are making music and they're all just like doing it online and like meeting
Yeah.
people and shit. And I was like, I want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I just kind of got into it. There was a group chat. It was like at the time it was like the maximum number of people you could have. It was like 55 or something.
That's crazy.
Um, and it was started by Levels, he passed away this
Oh
time last
shit.
year, which really sad, you know, rest in
Yeah, yeah.
peace.
R.I.P.
Yeah, but he actually introduced me and Charlie because he and Charlie were IRLs, like they'd known each other forever.
Mm-hmm.
And he and I were just really good friends through the internet. So he was like, hey, like you two should start talking. Like you two like totally have like the same like drives when it comes to music, like the same energies. So he told us to DM each other and we did. And literally since day one, we just like clicked instantly. We've made like over like 70 songs together. We put out like
That's crazy.
6 projects last year. It's been insane.
Yeah, yeah, that's crazy. So, what's like what is like a typical like day when you're going through like your creative process to like write a song and like what's like inspiring you that day? Like what's like what are you going through when you like going through that whole like creative process?
Right. Well, it doesn't take me very long for my lyrics, you know, like it'll take me maybe like 15 to 30 minutes to like actually write the song and then like another 20 to record it and then it's done.
Mm,
But this is something I've been thinking about a lot recently is like looking back through like most of my songs, it's like they can all be interpreted, most of them can be interpreted as like love songs in some sort of way.
mm-hmm.
So I guess that's the biggest thing. It's just like my biggest thing with my music is I want to be able to like tell stories through it and like
Yeah.
just like get people to like pay attention to the lyrics and like feel something.
Mm-hmm.
Like when the song's done, not like not like so much of mainstream music where you just hear it and you're like, oh yeah, that was cool, let's go on to the next 2-minute song. Like I want people to like have an impact when listening to my music, like remember it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and like I said, growing up I wanted to be a writer. I was always writing, so a lot of my like lyricism is very like I guess you can read it as like poetry
Mm-hmm.
almost. Like I guess I don't really have any like physical inspirations. I'm looking out the window and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, um, yeah, I mean, I guess it really just depends. It depends mostly on how I'm feeling, you know?
Yeah. Who are you listening to like around like so around like the hype like SoundCloud era and stuff like that, like when we had like Lil Peep and like the Lil Pumps and stuff like that. Who were
Mhm.
you listening to around then?
What was that? Like 2016?
Yeah, yeah, 2016, 2015, 2014. Or
Oh
we can even
man.
say 2017 as well.
I mean, 2016, I was 14, so I was listening to like Panic at the Disco.
Oh shit. Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah. I didn't get into more underground music till 2019. And that
Oh, dang, so
was
you were kind of late. So you were kind of
I'm
late.
very new. Yeah, I'm very new to like
Oh,
music
okay, okay.
scene.
So who are you? So you listen to Panic at the Disco? I fuck with Panic at the Disco. I'm not
Yeah.
even gonna lie.
I don't fuck with Brendan Urie. Not Brendan Urie, but like Panic at the
Yeah,
Disco's music holds up.
yeah, yeah, yeah. What was that one song? This is a beautiful wedding.
I write sins, not
Yeah,
tragedies.
yeah,
Yeah, that
yeah,
song
yeah,
fucks, dude.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That was that was my shit back then.
Yeah.
So have you been like doing like your research on like the underground stuff since you're like kind of new to it?
Not really. Charlie and I like he lives like 6 hours from me, so I go down to
Mm-hmm.
visit him sometimes, and
Yeah.
we'll just smoke and like we'll just talk, and he'll like info dump music shit to me, like about like music history and shit
Okay,
like
okay.
that. But I got like I started getting into the underground through Lil Ugly Mane. Like that, like
Okay, okay.
when I got introduced to Lil Ugly Mane, that was when I was like, holy shit, like this is insane.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Who so do you have any inspirations musically? Like who musically like inspires you?
I'd say Lil Ugly Mane for sure.
Just Lil Ugly Man? Anyone
Mhm.
who else?
uh
I know there has to be some people
yeah,
that
no, Sizzy Rocket is a big inspiration for me musically. Um I'm trying to think. I guess it really depends. It depends on like which parts of my music, because I guess in different
Mm-hmm.
styles that I do, I take inspiration from like different people. Like the slower stuff, definitely like Lana Del Rey, like vocally in terms of like
Okay,
singing
okay.
style, because I listened to a lot of Lana Del Rey growing up
Oh,
too.
she's a good artist.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's definitely cool. What about like the screamos? Like when you're making like that metal shit, like
Mhm.
who you grabbing inspiration from with that?
Um, Deftones for like the more slow screamy
Oh,
stuff.
Deftones is
Yeah.
yeah.
Deftones. I really like Tool. I'm trying to think because I don't listen to a lot of screamy stuff really.
Okay.
I listened to a lot of City Morgue
Yeah,
when they were like getting big though. A lot of City Morgue.
okay. So what's it like, like growing up on like the East Coast? Because you on the
Mhm.
East Coast, right? So
Yeah.
what's it like growing up on the East Coast and then like, because not a lot of people know the East Coast for like the style of music that y'all making right now, and
Mhm.
like what is it like, because a lot of people think when people think of the East Coast, they think of like New York drill music and stuff like that. They think of that.
Yeah.
And like how does it like when you're like in like this process of like making the music and stuff, and then like people find out you're from the East Coast, and then like you're beginning to like cultivate like that group of people that
Mhm.
like want to support you, but you don't have like what was it like when you weren't getting any other plays? Like in the beginning of making music, were you like, man, like you weren't getting none of the plays, people weren't recognizing it? Were you
Mhm.
just like, man, fuck this shit, I don't want to do music no more? Like, have you
Yeah.
ever felt like, what I'm saying? Have you ever
I
felt
feel
that
like
kind of way?
that. I feel like that constantly, but definitely when I first started making music, because like I said, I got onto Twitter like late 2020. That was when I kind of decided this is what I was gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and like I don't have that like super marketable hyper pop voice. Like my singing voice is like much deeper.
Mm-hmm.
It's really hard to like pitch it up and make it sound more like naturally hyper poppy, I
Mm-hmm.
guess. So I couldn't figure, and I like didn't know how to mix at the time. Like I didn't really know anybody, so I was just kind of like scraping by, getting everything together, like
Yeah.
doing my songs and stuff. And it was very discouraging because at that time, that was when like the SoundCloud Digicore playlist like was like being made for the first time and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it was also late enough into it where people had already blown up and like the big names had already been like determined, you know.
Yeah.
Um, so it was super discouraging for me because I was like, oh man, like I don't know what I'm doing. Like I don't know anybody. Like where am I going to go from here? Like how am I going to do this?
Mm-hmm.
And then when I met Charlie, that was really when I was like, and we started working together. That's when I was like, well, I don't have to keep doing what everyone else is doing. Like I
Yeah.
like it's one, it's not one, I can't figure out how to do it. And two, I just like I'm forcing it. Like I would be forcing it. It isn't what I
Yeah.
want to do. It wouldn't be natural.
And you make yourself
Um,
marketable by being yourself and doing your own thing, and like just
yeah,
being different. And because if you
exactly.
sound like everybody else, you just sound like another like like artist that's making that kind of style of music. Like there's artists that want to do drill music, but there's a shit ton of artists that do drill music. There's not a lot of like artists that are doing something different. Because then once
Mhm.
you make yourself different, then you become you find your own market. You have people that like generate towards you. Because once you're like another like a hyperpop artist, nothing against hyperpop artists, but once you're competing with like 50,000 other hyperpop artists, and you're fighting for like the same market, it's kind of hard to do
Yeah.
that when there's like 100,000 of y'all. Like, like
Right. No,
yeah,
literally.
yeah,
Couldn't
it
have said
just
it
turns
better.
into it just turns into crabs in the barrel kind of, and like
It's like a big turf war.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's what it is. Like that's how it is in like all like these like genres of music. Unless you create your own type of thing, like if you have your own thing, you're not fighting for you're not fighting for a spot because
Yeah, for sure.
you created your spot.
Created your space, so now you can own it.
Yeah. So when did you decide like what was like the first song you like made? Was it a metal type song? Was it like a jazz type? Was it rap
Mhm.
type? Like what was like the first song you made? And then you're like, okay, I'm gonna make this style first.
Yeah. Okay. So Moth Girl Lore, right? The band that I was in when I was 15 was like really shitty, like coffee house rock. Like it was like 15-year-olds just playing like super basic chords, like literally in like a local coffee house.
Oh shit.
Then about a year later, I started doing like dark trap stuff. And that was actually when I met like Astral Trap for the first time, who is now in Kill Me Lord with me. So it's really funny that that's come full circle like so many years later. But so I was doing that for a little bit. And it was just like, I was just like, I don't really enjoy doing this. So I just stopped for a while. And that was like 2020, that was like early 2019 when I stopped doing that. So I don't really count that stuff because that's just like, that was also like before I came out. I was still in high school, you know, it's just very like, it wasn't me. So when I started doing this stuff again, my first song was called Transcend, and it's still out because I really like the song. It was like almost emo trap kind of, like it was like kind of like Lil Peep type stuff, but like much more melodic. And then like a week after that was a song called Feeding Frenzy, which was a very hyper poppy song. That was a very hyper poppy one. And then since then it's just kind of been all over the place, really. I mean, you know, like I put out like 12 separate projects last year. Everything is just always so different.
That's crazy. You got 12 projects out like that. Like you have like really crazy like work ethic. I can say that about like, you know, what like you're doing. And I hope like, you know, people that are watch that, like, you know, when they hear 12 projects, a lot of artists, they want to make it so bad, but they don't even have 12 projects out to even show like the work, like the footwork, you know what I'm saying? Like you got to put in the footwork to even like demand, you know, that kind of like respect, like in the game of like music and stuff. Like you got to, you know, how often are you recording, would you say?
A couple times a week.
Yeah.
I mean, well, right now, I mean, I'm in college, you know, I have finals these next 2 weeks. But like at least a couple times a week. And the biggest thing for me, to anyone watching who like who wants to be an artist or is like just starting out, the biggest thing is don't box yourself in with those labels and with that genre stuff, because one, it'll put you down, and two, you're putting yourself in a box with fucking metal cages and you're throwing away the key. Like you're gonna make it so hard for you to like break out and like make what you want to make. Like if you're feeling burned out, like try a new sound, like try something new, like fucking find like a free YouTube. I still use free YouTube beats, man. I mean, like I have so many friends who produce, and sometimes I'm just like, I don't know anyone who like can make what I'm looking for. I'll just use a YouTube beat. You know, it's like straight up. Like if you want to do something but you don't know how to do it, just literally look it up. Just do it. Just figure it out. Just fucking brute force it. Like I basically taught myself how to mix. I basically taught myself how to run FL. Like all of this shit. You just got to do it. You just got to fucking buckle down and do it if it's what you want to do.
Yeah. So how did you come up with the name Moth Girl?
So it was chosen by a Twitter poll, actually. When I first got into the scene, I was going by Cypress because that was just the name that I was using at the time. And I didn't really like it like as a name or as an artist name. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna change it. So you know, I was like, okay, I'm going by Astra now. So because like that's my name. And then for an artist name, I can't remember what I think there were 3 choices. I couldn't remember what the other 2 were, but one of them was Moth Girl. And it won by like a landslide. And I was like, okay, cool. Like, I guess like I'll just use Moth Girl. And that must have been in like March or April of last year. Because it was late enough into me and Charlie's first album that it was too late to take Cypress out of the album name, because the album name, our first album name is Number 9 Cypress Apartment Complex, so it has both of our names in there.
Oh, that's a cool ass name,
right? But then by the time I started going by Moth Girl, like it was like we had already like finalized the album name and the art and everything. We were like, fuck it, let's just leave it. Like, it sounds badass. So
yeah, that's dope.
Just it.
So where do you like see, you know, like what, like, do you want to just continue to do music? Do you want to do other things like art wise? Like, do you want to get involved with like, you know, like anything else like besides like music? Like, where do you see yourself with music and without music, but dealing with art? Like, have you ever thought about doing anything else like creatively?
Yeah, for sure. Well, the thing with music is like it's something that like ideally, you know, like in
Hmm.
a perfect world, I could just do music. I could like make money off streams. Like I could just make money off like playing shows and I wouldn't have to work or anything. But
Hmm.
like the industry is so fucked, man. Like that's it's so unlikely that that'll happen while also being able to like retain all of my like ownership rights and everything like that. So
Hmm.
it's like I'm just doing it. I'm just having fun with my friends. Like I'm playing shows, just hanging out with it all. I think creatively, artistically, um, I've always been into fashion design. I think fashion design would be really cool, but at the same time, I don't have the patience for it.
Yeah, yeah. It takes a lot of that takes a lot of time. Like making clothes and stuff like that definitely
Right,
takes a lot of
yeah.
time. Yeah.
Um, I mean, I seriously, this is the conversation I'm having with my mom right now because I have to pick a major next year. Like, I have no idea what I want to do besides just chilling out doing music stuff.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, yeah. Because like a lot of people like have like that, conflicting thing that where you do music. Because like I mean I make music, but then like I was realizing like I have like other passions that I really like doing like stand-up comedy and things like that. I love doing that. And like even though it's like not music, it's something else that's like putting me like outside of like my comfort zone. So
Hmm.
like do you think that it would be like I'm not saying like you doing like stand-up comedy or anything like that, but like so like making clothes, like
Hmm.
have you ever like drawn up like your own designs or anything like that? Have you ever like how do you like envision like that kind of like thing? Like what do you envision for that if you wanted to make clothes? Like what kind of like style would you go for?
Oh man. So in high school, I did like designs for like some other kids in my high school that had like their own like streetwear clothing brand. They would just like
Hmm.
print it out of their basement kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I would like do designs for them every now and then.
Mm.
Um, I don't know. I mean, I feel like starting out it would probably be more like just like graphic designs.
Mm.
But I think it would be really cool. I mean, I love like big fancy dresses and shit. Like I think that stuff's so pretty.
Yeah.
So it would be cool. Like oh god, Iris Van Herpen, the
Mm.
person who does a lot of the designs for like Bjork.
Okay.
Um, I love that like avant-garde, totally fucking out there look. I love that shit so much. I think that'd be so cool. But like I definitely don't have the means right now to
Yeah,
even
yeah,
try to
I
even
feel you
try to
on
do
that.
that.
Hell yeah. What kind of like what were like your favorite like movies and like shows like
Oh my
right now?
god.
Right now and growing up like cuz like a lot of like sometimes when I'm like writing music or if I'm like writing like stand up or something like that, I'll
Mhm.
have like a movie playing in the background, but like I like to have it on silent or
Yeah.
like I'll have like an anime or something like that on in the background and I'll have it on silent or I'll have like my headphones on so I don't listen to like the like the
Mhm.
TV or whatever. But like what like things like that you watch like inspire you?
Okay, yeah. So my favorite movies are Sucker Punch, which fantastic fucking movie. That was my gay awakening for sure. Queen of the Damned, which by no means is a good movie,
Oh,
but
with the
it's
Leah and
yeah, 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 yeah,
yeah, I
yeah.
fuck with that movie. That movie's
Killer
fire.
fucking soundtrack, great
Yeah.
cinematography. Too bad the story and writing sucks, but I love
Oh
that
yeah,
movie so much.
yeah, that the writing for it was trash because like
Yeah,
I was like lost at like some points. I'm like, who are all these
right.
people?
It's like,
Like
where did they come from? Why am I
yeah.
supposed to care about them? Like, especially in the final scene where there's like seven people and you only know who three of them are. Like, what?
Yeah, yeah, all those random ass vampires that were just showing up fighting.
Right.
I forgot the dude's name, but yeah, that's
Lestat, yeah.
yeah. What else?
And Blood Tea and Red String. That's one of
Okay.
my favorite movies. That's it's like a stop motion movie by this like independent director Christian Sagavsky, I think.
Hmm.
But it's like these little like forest creatures and they make this doll and then these like mice steal it and they have to like go on this like journey to get it back. But it's like the only like audio in the movie is like this like beautiful like symphony full orchestra and then like just the natural sounds of like a wooded area.
That's crazy.
I love that movie so much. One of the songs in me and Charlie's first album was inspired by that movie.
That's lit.
Super cool.
Is there any animes that you like right now?
Yeah, I love anime and manga. I mean, I have like a huge manga shelf right there
Oh
behind me.
shit.
Favorite anime, definitely Madoka Magica. I fucking love Madoka Magica so
Okay.
much. That show fucks.
I
Trying to
gotta check it
think.
out. I haven't seen that. Like, what is it? What is it about?
Um, like magical girl anime, like Sailor Moon type shit.
Okay, okay, it's like that.
It's
Okay,
basically
okay.
that, except it's like super fucked up and twisted.
Oh, okay, like I don't want to have you ever seen High School of the Dead?
No.
Okay, you gotta watch that. It's like zombies,
Okay.
like it's like zombies, like taking over, like like they like zombies taking over Japan type shit.
Oh,
And they, like,
hard.
yeah, everybody gotta like they're like trying to like survive and get out of Japan. Like that's what it's
Mhm.
that kind of shit. But it's like gory, like kind of like shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's lit. That's lit.
Yeah, no,
Well,
Madoka Magica, it like they use like multimedia shit too. It looks like there's like cutouts moving around, like watercolor shit. Like it's so pretty. The animation is
oh,
so
that's
great
dope.
in it. Yeah.
That's dope. Who would be some of like your dream collabs, whether it be like with a producer or an artist?
Okay.
Any artist, big,
Yeah.
big, small.
Probably underscores, honestly. Underscores would probably be underscores or ugly mane would be my two biggest ones.
Okay. Okay. Um, who would be what would be like your most like what's your most like favorite song that you have ever made yourself?
Ooh. Oh, that one's really hard. Like of all time or currently? Because I can give
It
you a
could be
currently one.
any currently anyone.
Okay.
You go back and forth.
Okay. Currently, probably either Steps or Sternum, but Sternum is unreleased. That's part of the metal album.
Okay, okay. Um,
But
so
Steps just hit streaming today, so stream Steps.
hey, stream that shit. We're gonna put the link in the bio. We're gonna run it
Let's
up.
go.
We're gonna run it up. Um, who are like who are your two favorite people that you've collabed with so far?
Um, Definitely Apartment 9.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Charlie's definitely top one. I mean everything like from our the way our the way musically we fit together is like two puzzle pieces that were just made for each other. It's like
Yeah,
anything one of us has an idea for, the other one can like bring it out perfectly.
yeah.
Besides him, trying to think. I've been working with Leslie Freak and Unixia a lot lately, and they're both total sweethearts. Like everything we've been making is just so unlike anything I've done before, and it's just been so much fun.
Hell yeah. What does the sledgehammer represent to you?
I just got it at Home Depot last weekend and thought it was really cool. I
So
thought it
you
was
just
hard. I just thought it was hard as fuck, and I was like every cool, hot, evil, fucked up woman has a big weapon that defines them, and I was like, fuck it, I'll get the
that's
sledgehammer.
true. That's true. The sledgehammer. If you was if not the sledgehammer, what other object?
Probably like a big scythe.
That's yeah. You can't even go wrong with a big scythe.
Yeah, scythes are
Okay.
hard.
All right. Would you rather live in? I don't know how to. Would you rather live like when the knights and stuff was running stuff, or would you rather
Mhm.
live when the barbarians like Vikings and stuff was like? Do you like that kind of like that kind of like look, or do you like the knights kind of like the goth
Mhm.
German?
Yeah. Oh, like crusade times.
Yeah, crusade type drip or Viking drip.
Ooh, I can't lie, crusader drip kind of hard.
Yeah.
Because I love religious imagery. I'm not a religious person, but I was brought up to be super religious.
Hmm.
Especially as a trans person. That's kind of why like I resent it. And why I use it so much in a lot of my writing and like my fashion. I mean, I wear this rosary every day, and I'm the least religious person least
Yeah.
religious person I know. But I think Crusader Knights shit would be hard. Fuck the Crusaders. What they did was fucked up,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. Yeah.
like they were dripped the
They
fuck
had
out.
drip. Yeah, they had drip.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna lie. Um, Let me see. If you could pick, if you could pick, let me see. This is gonna be all right. If you could pick any rapper to do a song with between you got five choices. You got Cardi, you got Pete coming back from the dead. You got I'm gonna say it was Machine Gun Kelly. You got Machine Gun Kelly. You got Machine Gun Kelly. And then you got Justin Bieber.
Oh, what?
You got Justin Bieber.
What?
And you got Trippie Redd.
You gave me 5 artists that I don't even like.
You gotta pick. You gotta pick.
Okay, wait.
You gotta pick. You gotta. All right. So
can it be old Cardi or does it have to be new Cardi?
You can pick any generation of Cardi.
All right, old Cardi. Like self-titled.
What do you think about Machine Gun Kelly? And like,
I genuinely rather shoot myself. Like if Machine Gun Kelly was like, if you don't work with me, then like I'm going to blackball you from the industry. I was like, cool, I'm gonna kill myself in front of you. That's it. End of story. I'd never work with him.
Like how do you feel about like his like transition to like doing like what he was doing to trying to do like the whole Lil Peep kind of like thing?
I had no idea who he was before he was doing this. I only know him as this like pop punk fuckhead
that copy Lil Peep style.
Yeah.
That's like, do you think that's crazy that someone like could steal a whole artist like persona?
And, yeah, it's fucked up. It's like it's ridiculous.
And he's dead. Like he didn't die that
so
long.
Disrespectful.
He didn't die that long ago either. Like that's the craziest part about it.
It's not like it was some like fucking like grunge icon like Kurt Cobain who died forever ago. You know, it's someone that like died very recently and whose music still has an impact on like this generation.
And like I would say like Lil Peep like is an icon too, because he I think what Machine Gun Kelly thought was that no one was gonna notice what he was doing. And like I feel like he downplayed like the power of like the underground like fan base.
For sure, yeah.
Like I feel like he thought that like he wasn't that known, but he was. And like I feel like he just thought that he could just take like the whole persona. What do you like how do you feel about like artists that like, you know, come in like that try to like do that though? Like how do you feel about like those kind of like artists that could you make the argument saying that like he wanted to do something different or make a different sound, or like how can you tell? Because you can tell if something's like real or not. How could you what pointed out to you that this whole thing was like that he was doing was just like an act?
Machine Gun Kelly?
Yeah.
I feel like he's way too confident.
Yeah.
You know, if someone is way too confident, it either means their ego's way too big and I hate them, or they're an asshole and I hate them. I feel like
he was just faking it. And he thought like, cause you know, like the term like fake it till you make it. Yeah. I feel like he was like faking it. And then like he thought he was gonna make it, but he was faking it. And people found out that he was just faking it.
Right.
That's what I feel like he ran into. How do you feel about like industry plants and like how like that whole part of like the music industry is ran? Do you think that it like it fucks up opportunities for smaller artists to like get bigger opportunities? Or do you think it even matters?
No, I definitely think it has an impact. I think it has an incredibly negative impact at that. I think it's fucking stupid and I hate it.
Yeah, like that's like I feel like and that's why like I wanted to create like the platform that I'm trying to create right now, because I feel like number one, I feel like people are like lazy and they don't want to look up new music. Like back in the day, like
that's me.
People would just look up music like you know, and that's how artists like Lil Peep and X and all them, that's how they all got popping, because it was all word of mouth. It wasn't like the mainstream media or pushing, like no one was pushing them. Like they all had like, it was like genuine like fan bases like pushing these artists, and like they grew, you know, like a natural fan base.
Right.
And then now it kind of like stripped that kind of like thing away with how like the new Twitter algorithm is, where how like the playlisting and stuff like that. I feel like the playlisting stuff is kind of weird. I think that should be illegal. To like, I feel like it should be illegal for, if you're gonna have a playlist, you need to have an AI robot, you know.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it shouldn't be a human dictating what like what's popping. I feel like an AI robot should be analyzing stuff over the internet and whoever is like, you know, getting like decent, like real buzz, like not someone buying, you know, plays, not someone buying followers and stuff like that. I feel like, like, you know, I just think that there could be some way that we could fix that, because I think it should be illegal for a human to run the playlist, especially because let's just say let's just say you get a song that like you drop on Spotify or on Apple Music or something like that, and like you drop, you're the smaller artist, but you're running up like 10K plays, you know, to like it. I feel like the algorithm or the AI robot should pick that up and be like, oh, you might like this. This is getting 10,000 plays right there, or this is getting 1,000 or 5,000 plays. Like, how do you think that, like, you know, how do you feel about playlisting and stuff like that?
I think the way playlisting is done now sucks. I don't like it. I think not just playlisting, but how people like consume their music, like music reviewers and stuff. I think that sucks. I don't like the idea that elitist music heads who don't actually make music are the ones with the biggest influence and are the ones that are telling their audience, this sucks and I didn't like it, so you're gonna fucking hate it. And it's like, what? Like the people, I think it's cool when Spotify does the thing where they let other artists pick the playlists, but I don't like how it's like the same like 4 artists.
That's what I'm saying. I don't fuck with that. I don't think a human should pick it at all. Like I literally, I don't think, because like they're gonna be automatic, like things that like come to like things that are like that. Like a human shouldn't be involved with it, and because it's all streaming, so therefore it's all over the internet. So therefore, an AI, like, you know, something that's like AI should just, you know, control like that whole entire thing. I just don't like playlisting, and like I definitely agree with you. Like if you haven't made music or like put your like art out there, I don't like, it's kind of like because like I know what it feels like to be an artist and putting your music out there and like it being judged by people. Like I know what that feels like. So I definitely understand where you're coming from with that, because like I see people that review music and stuff, and they have never made a song, or they have never put like a song out to be reviewed or be like judged by the public, and then they're passing judgment on your music, and like they're like saying whatever they want about it, but they've never put your like themselves in like you know, the artist's shoe.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me so much when people who've never made music are like, oh, your shit sucks, because like obviously that does happen, and it's like, whatever, you're an anonymous person on Rate Your Music, why would I care? I hate you. But when it's people like Anthony Fantano, for example, like he gets a lot of hate, and he should, because I don't like him. I think he's an asshole. Because like
he gave my man's Corbin a fucking 4 out of 4.5 out of 10 or something like that on his album. Spooky Black, he gave my man he gave him a 4.5 out of 10, bro. I was like,
and it's like, I feel like, I don't know, this is just me. I feel like when people have channels like that where they do that kind of thing and they hear something they don't like, then they have such like a rabid fan base. Like Fantano's fan base is insane, and he knows it. Like I feel like if you don't like something, like at least be nice about it. Like I've seen clips of him just like full on shitting on something, like fully knowing that his fan base will see that and then do the exact same thing. You know, and it's like that feeling must suck. Like I hope people like Fantano never hear my shit, because like I don't want that. Like even if they say something good, it's like I don't care. Like I want people to hear my shit naturally. I don't want it to come from some fuck on the internet who doesn't actually, like, he plays his guitar. Like, cool, you play a guitar. I play bass. Whatever. Like it doesn't make him better than me. God, I hate that guy.
That's true. And like I definitely feel like they're like, because I even like when I do like my like reviews, like I'm not saying like if I do say like let's just say like if I don't like a song, like I'm not saying like this is trash or this is garbage. What I said, like I give like a constructive, like, you know, like criticism.
Constructive criticism.
Yeah, it's sure. Like it's like constructive criticism. I'm like, yo, don't give up. Keep I obviously say like those things too. Because like my goal, like with this whole entire thing, is to not like because there's lots of artists right now that aren't getting looked at, but they're like and I want to give artists like those looks, and like and I don't want to be that guy that's like a yes man, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to be like, oh, this is fire, like to every single song, because then I feel like I'm not helping them. Like I'm not
Yeah,
helping, like,
exactly.
yeah, like, but like I'm not all for like, oh, this sucks, this is horrible, this is awful. Like
For
that,
sure.
like that doesn't help the artist make better music. That
Yeah.
like, that puts them in like a depressive mind state. I honestly, because like, because I know you said like, you can look at like some anonymous person that says like, oh, your music sucks. Like shit, I'll be like, bro, this person just said my music sucks. Like, because I'll get like
Mhm.
I can get like 8 like good comments, but then I see one bad one, and that motherfucker will hurt me. Like I'm like, oh
Yeah,
shit,
no,
yeah.
literally.
I'll be like, God
And it
damn, that
like
shit hurt.
it's easy to like brush off, but like at the same
Yeah,
time,
yeah,
even just one person saying that does have an impact on
yeah.
an artist, you
And then
know?
you got someone like Anthony, like saying like, this is complete garbage or trash or whatever. Like then and then adding on top of those anonymous people, like, sending that hate, it's just like, man, like the best thing
Yeah,
you could like if you really want to like, review music, you got to give constructive criticism. You have to,
exactly. That's
and,
it. That's
yeah,
exactly it.
yeah.
Like I
That's
don't
like my main thing with like music reviewing.
that's why I don't like that's why like I'll send like stuff into like the Nistopia streams every now and then, but for the most part, like that's why I don't send stuff into streams. One, because I don't have the time to watch it and I don't really care that much. If I like my
Mm-hmm.
song, that's what matters the most to me.
Mm-hmm.
And two, like if you're either gonna say like this sucks shit, die, or yeah, this is fire, skip, it's like that doesn't help me. That's a waste of my time. That's a waste of my money. Like if it
Mm-hmm.
says music review stream, you should be reviewing the song. You should be like giving constructive criticism, whether
Yeah.
it's like good things or bad things. You should be helping the artist, you know? Like
Yeah, that's like
go
one thing that like
backwards.
that's like one thing that I noticed about people that do like music review streams and stuff like that. Like it's hard to actually stream a music review. You really have to like pause the song, give
Mhm.
comment. You can't just listen to the song all the way through and then give commentary. You have
Right.
to listen to the song like second by second, pause, give commentary, keep listening to it again,
Mhm.
like let it play, pause, give commentary. You just can't like, listen to it all the way through and then after the song is over and be like, oh, I this song is fire, this song is like this or that. That's not a
Mhm.
real review. That's not like a real reaction. So like I'm like, oh, these people aren't really like, doing like real reviews and reactions. This is just a little quick money grab. Like,
Mhm.
for people to like, we'll review your song for $50 or $100 or something like that. And just sit through. And I'm just like, you guys aren't really like you're robbing the artist. And like
Mhm.
those are the people that pay your bills pretty much. Like those are the people that you do commentary on, big or small. Like and I feel like a lot of like the music review like is like that department is getting kind of lazy and it's just like
Mhm.
being looked at as like a money grab instead of like an actual like community,
Yeah.
where people feel they can send their music and get like an honest review and like an honest like constructive criticism. How do you like when you're like who do you get constructive criticism from whenever you need it?
My friends really like Charlie Apartment 9. Yeah, okay. Everyone in Seraphim, really. Like I'll be like, yo, like can I like get an opinion on the mix or like vocal levels or something? Because I don't
Mm-hmm.
really produce. So all I worry about is my vocal levels and then how that mixes into the rest.
Mm-hmm.
And then Leslie 3K and Unixia. And those are really the only people I go to, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
because
So
everyone else, not everyone else, but
mm-hmm.
like the majority of people, unless it's someone that you're like really close to, and even
Mm-hmm.
then, sometimes those people will just be like, "Yep, this is awesome."
Yeah,
Okay, but
yeah.
that's like not like if like there's something wrong with it, I want you to tell me. I'm not gonna be hurt. I'm asking for your opinion, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And like the people in Seraphim like will do that. Like they'll tell me if something sounds like shit, you know.
Yeah, that's
And
good.
I
That's good.
really appreciate when when people do that.
That
I
you
think we need
really
more of that.
yeah, you need it like because like you don't want a participation trophy at the end of
Right.
the day. You want to feel like you actually earned whatever you get, because it feels good, like because
Mhm.
like if you get a participation trophy, it feels good, but like you don't really feel like you earned it and you don't feel like your peers respect you.
Right.
And like I feel like that's like a really big thing that's missing from like music. Number one, like wanting like the respect from like your peers, and like that's like and people look at that as like a bad thing. I'm like it's good to have like respect like from like your peers and like care to like care what like they think about like your music, because some people have like that ego and they don't want to listen to like that. They want to be around yes men. They want to be around
Mhm.
people that will like tell them, yeah man, you're great, you're doing awesome. Like have you ever like like how did you get to like the point where you were okay with accepting like the constructive criticism? Because even myself, like it took me a while, and it was kind of like hard for me to accept like, you know, constructive criticism from
Mhm.
people. And like even like taking advice, like I would like brush it off, and like not even like and sometimes I even struggle with it. like 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 sometimes you think that you know everything, but then
Yeah,
you got to slow down and be like, okay, I don't know everything. Like
right.
how was that, like how was that battle within like yourself, if you ever had it?
I mean, it's still something that I struggle with daily.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, like it really, like that's kind of, at least in my experience, like it's something that's gotten better, but it's something that probably will never go away. And like, but it's like I'm not gonna like it's I guess it like hurts a little bit because it's like, oh man, like I thought this was awesome, but like I knew what I was
Mm-hmm.
asking for, like I was asking for, and this will make it better, you know, like it
Mm-hmm.
there's an initial sting because it's not perceived to be as good as you thought it was, but at the same time, like these people are willing to help you make it better, to
Yeah.
like get it to that point. So it's like it hurts at first, but then you just gotta keep reminding yourself that it's like it's part of the process. You know, nothing's gonna be perfect first fucking try. And like if it is, then you're lying and I hate you. But like you just gotta keep going. That's really it.
Yeah,
You just
that's
gotta,
true.
it's repetition, you know, practice doesn't make perfect, practice makes habits. You
Mm-hmm.
gotta get into the
That's
habit of
good.
you gotta get into the habit of asking people, you gotta get into the habit of like taking that constructive criticism into account. And even if you don't like it, still try it and see what it sounds like, you know?
Mm-hmm.
If like someone is like, oh, like try doing a low pass right here, and you're like, I don't think that'll sound very good. Try it anyways. Even if it
Mm-hmm.
sounds like shit, like it could have sounded good, you know?
Yeah, facts. What advice would you give you know, like new up and coming like artists that want to get into like, you know, I want to get into music, and like they have like these big like ideas and stuff, and like 'cause some people they want things like really quick, you know, they
Mhm.
want like they want to do the shows really quickly. They want to be in the groups and stuff like that. They want to be a part of like these cliques and things, and they want to be a part of like, you know, they just want to be a part of the
Yeah.
scene. Like what advice would you give like to these new artists?
Um, either slow down, like take it slow, or just stay away from me because small like people who are just starting out and they want to make it really big really fast end up being fucking assholes, or it's just super obvious that they're in it for the personal gain.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, that's the kind of shit that you can just see, like it is so obvious, and especially because in like this side of the internet that thing happens so frequently. Like it like has happened like literally twice in the past couple months. You know,
It's
it's like
true.
people can see that. Like people know, people like, especially now, people are going to be staying away from it a lot more because it just like immediately is like a red flag. Like just take the time, get to know people, make connections with people, you know, like don't go flocking to artists because just because like other people know who they are. You
Mm-hmm.
know, like work with your favorite artists, not like artists who have the biggest fan bases.
And I feel like that's what like the internet really has like created. It created like people like personalities within music, and like not like artists within music. You know what I'm saying? Like artists that like it's kind of hard to explain. Like it's just like people
I
that are
know what
like,
you mean. Yeah.
yeah, like YouTube personalities or whatever, and like they're just trying to become like rappers, and like they don't, or they're trying to become like whatever they want to, like, you know, they're trying to like get in like that scene.
Mhm.
And like, and I feel like there's I don't want to say there's way too many artists, but like I feel like the internet like just, you know, people look at it as like a money grab instead of
Mhm.
actually caring about like the art. So now we have a bunch of artists, but
Who want the money and not the music, and it
yeah,
sucks,
so
and I hate it.
like I would say like, you know, I would say it's 75% non-artists and the rest is actual artists. I
Yeah.
feel like on the internet, like that's how I feel like how it is. Like it's actual people that like, you know, and the people that are the artists, they care about the music, and they just care about being a part of like a community, and like that, like and those things. And the
Mhm.
rest of the people, they just want money, and they just want to get famous, and like they just want to do whatever to get to the top.
Yeah.
Like and yeah, how do you think the internet changed music?
I think I think the internet did a lot of good and a lot of bad for music. You know, it made it not only really accessible to listen to new music, but it made it really accessible to make it and to share it and to like form connections. And I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
I like, I'm so glad that like I got on the internet when I did and like met the people that I did. But at the same time, I think the internet, specifically Twitter, is a fucking cesspool. And if I didn't do music, I wouldn't be anywhere near it.
Yeah,
You know,
that's true.
I think the music scene, especially online, is incredibly toxic. It's super cliquey.
Yeah.
Like people hold grudges about the smallest things, you know, and it's like I think so many people have it wrong. Like you said, it was like 75% real artists, 25 not. I'd say it's more 50-50, honestly. And maybe that's just me. Maybe I just really don't like people. Because if I just don't like someone, then I
No,
immediately see them as
I
just
said it
like,
was 70. I said it was 75% fake artists, and
okay,
I
then
said the
yeah,
rest was real.
okay,
So like,
okay,
yeah,
yeah,
I'm on your like
yeah,
you when
no,
you
it's
said
definitely
50-50, you giving those people a
all
little
right,
like,
yeah,
yeah, no, I think it's less. I think it's less real, like, you
for
know.
sure, 100%.
But 20% out of like the whole like US of people that like, you know, that's a lot of people. But like 75%, I feel like those people like those people should stop being rappers and just be managers or whatever. Like, and I feel like it's because a lot of people, they want to be in the limelight. A lot of people want to be the artist. They want to be the person that's on stage, you
Yeah.
know, in front of the crowd. They want to be like that person. But like, there's so many different roles that you could play within music. You could be the camera person. You could be the person behind the laptop. You can be the person that's scheduling the events. You can be the person that's, you know, setting up tours. You can be the person that's setting up like all types of other different things within music. The person that's, you know, you can be the producer. You can be the person that sets up the studio sessions. And like, and I feel like a lot of people, they're like, fuck that. I want to be the star. Like, I want to, you know, they don't want to like when in reality, like people behind the scenes damn near make more music than the artists, and they don't see that, but they're too caught up by the limelight that they want to be, you know, they want to
be the
be
one that people take pictures of.
yeah. Everyone wants to be like everyone wants to be popular, you know. Yeah. What can people look forward to in the future from Moth Girl?
Oh man. Well, if you're in the New York area, I'm playing a show with some people from Seraphim, DJ Recode, Opala, Baron Bones, and then we're opening for some people from Eldia. So May 14th, if you're in the New York area, come check that out. I have got 4 albums in the works right now, and 3 of them are almost done. Yeah, really, really exciting, because one of them's been in the works for like well over a year, and then the other 2 are just coming together really fast. So a lot of new Moth Girl projects. I'm going on tour in July.
That's crazy.
East Coast tour. Come hang out in Boston, somewhere in New York, and then I think the other one's Cincinnati, but don't quote me on that because I have no idea. Oh, and then Minneapolis. I'm playing a show in Minneapolis in June also. So that's Minneapolis, lit. Come out.
That's lit. Is there anything else you want to plug? Twitter.
Twitter Instagram is mg_astra. Literally just hit streaming today. There's a couple EPs that I just had on SoundCloud, so go check out parts 1 and 3 of the Chrysalis Chronicles on streaming. Other than that, I think that's it. Instagram is Moth Girl Cult, Moth Girl on all streaming platforms.
That's lit. I really appreciate you for coming on the platform. I really can't wait to see, you know, what you're doing next with Kill Me Lord.
Yeah, shout out Kill Me Lord, shout out Seraphim.
Yeah, shout out Seraphim. Yeah, shout out all of them. And I'm just, you know, like I said, like I'm just excited to see, like, you know, I'm excited about underground music, like, and this is why, like, you know, I just decided, like, you know, out of nowhere, like, you know, I just want to cover this because no one's covering it. No big platforms want to cover like the new underground scene. So, you know, I'm just excited to see like what you guys are gonna do in the future and like, you know, the years to come. So just shout out to you and you know, keep killing it with the sledgehammer, you know.
Yeah, for sure. What's up?
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me. This was really cool. This was awesome.
And no problem. This is the Scottie Show, Moth Girl. Peace.